SHORES is an MMORPG, so yes, you will see other players in this world. What I count as worth playing solo is being able to play this game without being forced into either guilds, communication with other players, or being forced to group up with others. Thankfully, yes, SHORES is basically a chill MMO, where you can do your own thing at your own pace. This game is heavily celebrated by RuneScape fans, so you will see a ton of RuneScape players in this game. The great part for solo players is that it's designed to be pretty relaxing. You won't need to coordinate with others, or deal with complex combat mechanics and rotations most of the time. Starting out, you are just a regular guard in this place called Hopeport. The game actually takes its time introducing you to stuff, which is nice, as you won't get overwhelmed with a million things to do right away. You start learning basic stuff, and then more features unlock as you go through the story episodes. The game has a ton of detail, even though it is developed by a very small team, which is why it took them more than 14 years of development to get to this point. Like, the game has thousands of these information cards with description text on them. These are always massively appreciated. Even big companies often just don't bother with them and force us into the wikis or other websites. Now, the entire world is set up in these rooms. Think of them like district areas you can explore. Quite a few players don't like this approach because they feel it lowers immersion. This is valid, of course, and also very subjective, but they designed this world so you don't have to walk forever just to get somewhere interesting. These rooms automatically adjust how many players are in them, so their goal with this is to not make it feel too crowded and also not too empty. Something nice about the classes is that you don't have to choose them right away, but a bit later down the road. It's also nice that all classes have access to ranged and melee combat, and to my knowledge, all classes have access to magic as well, just a different kind of magic. The combat is intentionally designed to be more laid back. You typically won't have to worry about complex rotations, like in World of Warcraft. They do plan to add different weapons with special attacks. It is currently unclear to me if these are available at early access launch, but they are definitely planned. There is an elemental damage system in place, where different monsters have immunities to certain damage types. Also definitely worth mentioning, there is no PvP at launch, and once it gets implemented, it is purely optional. Thank the gods for that. The actual meat of the game are its professions. Stuff like fishing, cooking, woodcutting, alchemy, blacksmithing, or even a detective profession. Each one has its own progression path, and they have designed it so you have constantly new stuff to do. This game is free to play for the first 2 episodes, which is supposed to be a decent chunk of content. After that, there is a premium pass system. It's not really a subscription, but a one-time purchase for each new major content drop. This premium pass also lets you trade with other players, so this pass is required to reduce botting, of course, and it also lets you get a unique character name without any suffix added. Keep in mind, the game is still in early access. That means things like more episodes and stuff is coming. They did mention the current version already offers hundreds of hours of gameplay, and there will not be a safe reset at the end of early access, so this seems like one of the most solo-friendly MMOs out there this year. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.